Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. Boom. And today we're going to be taking a look at a wonderful little experimental sampler from Froggo Lab called Async Sampler. Yeah. Hello, welcome to the show. My name is Jade. I hope you're all doing well and good and fine out there. It is early in the morning and I have my coffee and I'm pumped to get into today's app. Welcome to our Wart Warriors. You too can become a Wart Warrior by clicking the join button down below or hitting the link to join. It's $1 a month and you get cool custom emojis and stuff like that and access to other stuff on the channel. Okay. Let's say hello to people here, then we shall get into today's app, and we have a great show coming up afterwards with Thomas Christ doing his rock. And today's featured artist is Holy Ghost 66. Thank you very much, Thomas, for banging that right there. That's how you become a Wart Warrior. Mixed clubs in the house. We got Frank Terzo, DJ Big Red, Perpetual Pussy. Who else do we have? I know I forgot the platter, but it's I'm allowed to. It's my show. Joe Glenn is in the house. I'll have your file back to you this week. Joe and Barry Glenn have a new song, which I have to finish mastering today. And that is what you get as part of being a patron. Does it work? There we go. You can become a patron here. And I will master your music for $1 a month. That's all it costs. And I'll master your goddamn music. That's how it rolls. Rock and roll. Yeah. And if you join as a free member to the Patreon in a couple of weeks' time, we're giving all free members a look behind the curtain to see what happens on our Patreon live stream. So make sure you sign up if you wanted to see how it all works and what goes on. Ed Bermetal is in the house. He was formerly Ed Bermental, but now he's Bermetal. Good stuff. Thanks to Leela, who opened the show today over on Rise of Dark Leela's channel. Every week she performs. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, US times ahead of me and sends everybody over and all that jazz. Frank Terzo. Audible video. Boom. Hi and lurking. Yeah, I'd be lurking too if I was you, buddy. Buddy boy. Valerie Butt is in the house. Hello, Valerie. Good to see you as always. Shall we? Oh, I can't forget. What was that? That's so weird. This show's weird. Why do you people watch? Let's over to the Beat community, because the Beat community is your number one source to find out what's new on iOS, what's new on desktop, and samples and expansions and things like that. It's a great place to go. It is thebeatcommunity.com, and I just love sharing them here at the start of the show because they are so up to date. Oh, look at that. It's Lizard Day. A lizard day keeps the doctor away. Stay for the shrimp. All right, let's get into it. So over here, Sand has been updated to 2.0. I'm really excited about this. So I did a review for Sand last year, and since then there's been a whole crap ton of like people saying, can you add this? Can you add this? Can you add this? And guess what? Boy, has this thing been updated, and man, it is really good. I'm very excited. Had to play with it last night. If you've already purchased it, it's a free update. If you haven't, it's moved to a free model with a not a subscription, with a once-off kind of payment kind of thing. So it's moved to a different model, I do believe. But we'll know more about that next week. That's what your mama says. But Liz, I am your mama. All right. Harmony Bloom, we talked about it yesterday, got updated. Nembrini's acoustic voice preamps on sale. Koala samplers been updated as well. Fab Filters got some sale apps, except for the new one, which was so kindly pointed out to me by Audible Video. See, you have some use, Audible. Sample Wiz and Blease plugins are on sale. Let's over to our discount page and see what's going on here. Sideband remix from Four Pockets is on sale. Sand has, as you can see, it's been dropped from $9.99 to now free. And I think you get 14. So if you want to try Sand Out, you get 14 days, and then you've got to pay the $9.99. I think that's how it works. That's the model. That's a cool model. I like that. 14 days, mess about, have a fuck about, have some fun, and see how you go. And then if you like it, pay for it. I like that model. It's very cool. Fab Filter apps all on sale. Yeah, lovely jubbly. Blease, so boom. Today we're looking at Async Sampler, and I've been sitting on this one for a little while. It's really cool. You're going to love it. It's on sale too, so it's normally worth $19.99, but it is currently $14.99, so definitely worth it to grab it now, but it's really, really cool. Here it is. If you do buy it and you're looking for the manual, you can go to the website, which is frogolab.com, and the manual is here. Very easy to read. Here is the manual. And one quick thing I want to show you before we move on, the iPad version looks a little bit different to the iPhone version. So as you can see here, all these are kind of smooshed together, and there's these little spanners down here that you click to expand. So it's just a little bit more smooshed and mushy and all that kind of stuff, but a very clear and easy to read manual. If that's your thing, if you like reading manuals, yeah, we all love reading manuals. That's why we all read the terms and conditions whenever we sign up to something, don't we? All of us. We do, all of us, every single one of us. Before I move on, let me tell you, something dropped last night that I'm very excited about, and fingers crossed, I'm hoping my friends at IK Multimedia send me one of these. The Tonex One dropped finally last night. I kind of knew this was in the works, and I did a review of the Tonex pedal, and look how tiny this thing is. This thing's so tiny, it's mushy. Look at this thing. Dude, it contains 20 models. Model amps, cabs, and stomps. It's basically carrying around a full amp in a tiny, look at that, it's so cute. And you can have multiple of these and chain them up. And I think it retails for 179 buckaroos. This thing is off the charts. Look, why would IK make something so small and cute and that is eating its own other item? Oh man, it looks rad. It looks fantastic. So fingers crossed, IK are going to send me one like they normally do, send me products to review, covered by CQ. That rhymes with you. I'm on fire today. Do I need more coffee? I think so, yes. Let's mute so you don't hear the uncomfortable sounds of me guzzling. Oh, sorry about that. All right, let's get into it. Let's play a little bit of a sample of Async Sampler. So it is an AUv3, and you can see I've got 3 of them loaded up here going on. And in each of these samples, each of these async samplers, you can have 3 samples in each. So we've currently got 9 samples running all independently of each other. And I'm going to play it, and we're going to see what kind of kookery we can make. Let's oj. Alrighty, let's take a look and see how this baby works. We'll just let it finish its part. There we go. Cool. I'm going to load up another little thing I made last night. So we'll open up. This one's called Async Evil Demo. Awesome. And I'm going to hit play on this one. And let's see what happens with this one. So I was trying to make some a horror soundscape, like a horror film. Pretty mint, huh? Hello, Robert Redmond's Clip channel. Good to see you as well. Let's open this sucker up by itself and show you exactly how it all works, yeah? Because it's not too hard. It's pretty easy to get a grip around. So as I said, it opens up as an AUv3. It opens up as a standalone. If you want to do it standalone, it's all up to you. Let's load one of them in. And when you first open it up, you will see this. So you've got 3 of these samplers here. You've got 1, 2, 3, sampler 1, 2, and 3. All I'm going to show you is one of them. Once you know how to use one of them, the other 2 are fairly self-explanatory. We have some little modules down here, 2 LFOs that you can assign anywhere. You click the assign button, look at that. You can assign these anywhere you like. So you can send 2 LFOs anywhere you like. You've got a reverb and a delay. Down here, this delay can be swapped out, or the reverb can be swapped out for a ring modulation. Pretty fun. So we've got a reverb and a delay. We've got a BPM. You can save stuff as presets. And you've got a compressor here at the end and an output mix with EQ and everything. So that's pretty much where everything stands. Let's work on one of these. Now, this, if I can have it not sync up to the DAW. So if I hit play here, nothing's going to play. There's nothing in here at the moment. But it's not going to be sunk up until I actually connect and hit sync on each of these. You can have them free running if you want and get some really unique kind of sounds all combating each other, that kind of stuff. Let's load in a sample. To load in a sample, hang on, I'm still feeling sick. I have acute bronchitis and I might have valley fever. Oh man, no. So sorry to hear that. Everybody send our friend Tremor Bear some big bear hugs and let him know that he's loved. Hope you get recovered soon, my friend. Ross Valley, is that Ross Valley fever? My stepmom had that, and it's atrocious. It's one of those things that is hard to diagnose and stuff like that, you know. All right, let's load this up. So to load a sample in here, you've got these buttons here, and you can see the folder image normally means that's going to take you to some folders. And you can't sneeze at this. Within here, you've got a bunch of samples already, and there's a good collection of stuff. So you've got chords, drums, guitars, modular madness, nature, pads, percussions, scroll, synth melodies, synth rhythms, waveforms, and wind instruments. So you have a nice selection of stuff to throw in here. We'll kick off by throwing in some drums, shall we? So you click on drums, and you've got a bunch of them here. Maybe we'll do like what do we got? A funky, we'll do an Amen break. Why not? We'll use this sample. So all you do is click use sample, and it will load the sample in. If I hit play, it's going to play. Right, but it's not connected to the DAW. So it's not playing along with the DAW. It's at its own BPM. It's going to do what it wants to do by itself. If I want to sync it to the DAW, you would have to click the sync button. Then when I hit play, it's going It's not going to do anything until I hit play here. But now it's accommodated to the door. So I can go into the door and speed it up, slow it down, because it's all attached to the play button on the door. Let's pull it down a little bit. You have multiple ways of the playback head running. So currently it's running to the end and going back to the start. Now it's randomizing. So this little picture here means it's randomizing. If we click it again. Now if I unsync it, you get a few more different options. You get it going backwards. You get it going backwards and forwards. Or you get it going one way and stopping. Or you get the regular way of it continuing to go. But as soon as you sync it, those options just change to the forward, keep going forward and returning to the front, looping, or this scattered randomization, right? Okay, so we have in the control panel of these, once it's loaded and playing, you can add some reverb. Your reverb controls are down here. We'll come back to these. You can add some delay. Again, we'll come back. You've got a little pre button down here. Now this is in relation to your delay down here. You can change the start length of the loop. So if I start turning this start dial, it starts. And once you've moved the start length, there's no way to like move the end length. All you can do is just grab this length, and so you can pull that back. And then with your little doobie wacky, your finger or your mouse, you can move this to where you want. So we can bring this right in. So total flexibility over your sample that you have in there. Plus, you can also 2 times this or divide it by 2. And these are the 2 buttons down the bottom. Let's 2 times it. And again. And again. And again. And again. And you can divide it by 2 as well. Now remember, it's in sync, so it's still going to stay in time with the BPM no matter how much you slow it down. What you'll notice also is when I turn off the sync, this little section down here will disappear and get replaced with a crossfade. And this crossfade is great for if you're making a shorter clip and you want it to kind of go back to the start and be a bit smoother. So you've got this little crossfade in here, and see how it adds a little triangle image up there. Can I zoom in a little bit more? There I go. You see this little triangle here? So it adds a little crossfade just so you can get a nicer little transition. But remember, that crossfade is only available when you are unsunk, all right? So we also have a pitch. And then you can like divide this by even further to just create utter noise, add some reverb in there. And now we're starting to have some fun. Let's divide it again. Whoa. Lovely jubbly. You have a volume for each of these. All right, so you can control the volume of them. We have a pan. If you've got headphones on, you should be hearing this in your left speaker, right? So to create some interesting, panel decisions, double click on anywhere and it'll reset. Double click, resets. Nice. So each of these little samplers also have a high pass filter, right? And a low pass filter. And each of them have a Q as well for resonance. Pretty neat. Let's bring our low pass back. And we have a drive button to really get it dirty and stinky. Ew, listen to that. So a nice little overdrive there, distortion. Wicked. So that is basically the same thing for each of these. That's your control panel for each. Now I can open another sample here. Let's throw in a guitar. What do we got here? We got a guitar rain. What's this? Use sample. And we can hit play and it's not sunk up. We can hit sync if we want. And then bring down, divide this. Here we go. Hey, Mark Wade, what's going on? We got Mark Wade, folks. Mark Wade's coming on the show tomorrow for an interview. How cool is that? Yeah? So that's really exciting. So making sure you're here tomorrow to hang out with me and Mark Wade. We're going to find out all about his music. SG Experiments in the house. Jim Shannon's joined us. Good to see you, Jimbo. Okay, so we understand how this works, how you can import these samples. You can have 3 of them in each instance of this running. Okay, I'm just going to make sure we can edit these. So if you're importing samples as well, you can choose your own samples. So we'll do that now. Let's show you bringing in your own samples. So to do so, you need to click New Sample. We'll show you one more time. Close. Just click on the little folder. Go down to New Sample. This will open up your Files app. And I already have my Ghost Hack stuff selected here, Ghost Hack samples. So let's bring in like an ambient bed or something. And a dry ambient bed. These are kind of in D minors. What do we got? Let's just grab a random one. And it will appear here in your user section, right? What did I grab then? I have no idea. It was something or other. Ambient beds. It was this one. You click on it. I think it was this one, wasn't it? Ambient beds, granular dreams. Click on it, hit use sample, and this is how you bring in your own samples. So let's turn this one off and just play our second one. Now this is sunk up. I might want to edit this, right? Get rid of that fade. There we go. We've got like a nice little droney kind of glistening thing going on. Okay, let's show you the LFOs. Let's get into the LFOs because they're really, really fun. So there's two of them. They are down here. You can see these two little dots just next to my stupid head here that are going up and down. That gives you the rate of what's going on. So you can see if I turn up the rate here, that little dot starts to move a bit faster. Really like little neat implementation there to give you an idea of, give you a visualization when you have limited space for an app like this. So there's the rate of this LFO. Now, if I want to send this LFO somewhere, very easy to do. All I hit is the assign button and all these knobs light up. That's what she said. Right. So I would like to do the low pass filter. Now, to make this happen, you have to click and drag either up or down. So I'm going to go up and see how it's now adding a little bit of a slice, how long I want it to be. And I let go, and now that is ready to go. Now I can move this LFO around. So now if we hit play, we're modulating the low pass filter. Give it some resonance. And you can send these to anywhere you want. Yeah, we covered that already, Jim. We'll be looking at it next week. Now that this LFO is connected, I can move this around and you'll notice it gets, now we've got a much wider scope for our LFO. But it's a little bit too wide. I want to bring it in a bit. So to do so, we hit assign again and just pull down and you can see, let me zoom in a bit. You can see this kind of tightening and coming closer together to change the range of this LFO. And then let go. And there we have our LFO rocking and rolling. And we can move this around where we want it. We have an offset, so we can change the offset point of the movement of the LFO, and we have a scale. So the offset's going to decide where this thing moves from. We can change the rate, of course. Let's bring these back. We can make it go fast and crazy, whatever we want, yeah? You can pause the LFO. There's a little pause button. And we have different shapes. So we've got a sawtooth, square, sample and hold. And this last one is like a smooth sample and hold. So it's still bouncing around like a sample and hold, but it's just a little bit more smoother and it gives you a little bit of a more delicious LFO. But as I said, you got two of these, so we can go into the pitch here. Let's do this one. So now we're modulating our pitch as well. Add some reverb. To reassign something, it's as simple as just hitting assign and choosing a brand new thing. Like we can do the size of this reverb over here. So now we're modulating the size of the reverb. But you'll notice that this pitch is still going as well. You can also sync the LFOs so they're in time with the DAW. Let's do that. Now, the one thing I'm not aware of is how to unassign something completely. If I double click, I think that's how you do it. No, that doesn't work either. Or I'm just going to pause them for now. Yoink, yoink. I'll need to look it up, I think. I can't remember how to unassign them. That is something I need to know. Where are we? This one is assigned to here. I'm actually not sure. We'll have a look at the manual and come back to that. For now, I'm just going to reboot it. That's my bad, because I like to think I know everything, but guess what? I don't. I'm a dick. We'll come back and we'll have a look at it. Hey, what's going on, Costa and Leany? What's happening, Leany? All right, so let's load up another sample. We'll go in here to our sample bank. I've got a bunch of stuff I've already... What do we grab? We'll grab some pads or something. What about some nature? We got some rain and birds. Let's get some birds in here. So we'll use this sample, sync it up, hit play, rock and roll. There we go. So we got some birds in here. Let's look at these effects, what we can do with these effects. So as you've seen, we've got a reverb. Let's load up another sample in here. Maybe we'll do like a percussion. We've got some bells. All right, we'll concentrate on our reverb. And with our reverb down here, we have our size, so we can make it huge. Big reverb. We can control the width of the reverb, so it's spread out. We've got a high pass filter for the reverb and a low pass filter, so you can essentially cut it all out if you want. And our decay. And I'm going to take a break right now because we're at that point of the show. I'm a little bit late today, 8 minutes late, where we need to take an ad break from YouTube because they pay the bills. So every day at the halfway point normally of the show, I run an ad. So you don't all get ads at different times, and it takes you out of the immersion of this fantastic show. So I'm going to run the ad. You can avoid the ad by becoming a YouTube Premium member or just skipping the ad when it comes along. It has been run, and while we're waiting for those who did get served an ad to come back, we can let you know what's happening tomorrow here on the show. So you get a double dose of advertising. And yes, There he is. I'm tickling his chin right now. It's Mark Wade. Mark Wade's coming on the show tomorrow. Lots of fun. Yes, my friends. So you come and find out more about this dude here. He makes great music. He's been making music since he was a teenager. And you're going to want to find out about him because he's really cool. Boom. And he's here in the chat right now, so make sure you say hello to him. And this week there is no opening hour, but there's something special. There is Asking for a Friend. This is a special show that happens once a month with Gladys Worthington. Folks, the show's already up on the channel. Go and seek it out. There's a form. Send your questions to Gladys Worthington and you'll get an hour of this old hag here answering your questions. They can be about anything, life, love, music, herpes, whatever it is. Go to the show, find the link to the form and send your questions because you've only got a few days left before Gladys goes live after Thomas Christ's You Rock. All right, ad's done. We can come back over here. Pookie, thank you so much, Pookie, for the 10 gifted subs, as always. Pookie! So 10 people are now lucky members. They can now enjoy all the benefits of all the emojis and stuff like that. And hello, Mr. Smith. What's going on? To Mr. Smith. Good to see you. Okay, where were we? Come back over here. Sidetracked once again. Remember, Thomas Croats is up next in about 20 minutes' time. So I've got to get through all of this before then. So we've looked at our reverb, but we also have a delay. And if we turn the delay up for this lovely effect. So the delay has a time. So we can change the time of the delay. It's got a low pass and high pass filter again. A width, feedback. It can be sunk as well to the door, like so. Pretty rad, but also you don't have to use the delay. There's another option. You can use a ring modulator. So if you click on the effect here, you get the option to use this ring modulator. Let's turn that up. And you can really ring modulate, crush the shit out of this, sync it up. Add some reverb. So essentially, you can fuck with all these sounds and make them, you know, as crazy as you want. Let's bring in this sound here. Also, I'll bring this volume down a little bit. We have, at the end of the chain, we have a compressor. So we can turn up this compressor. We've either got like a clean compressor or this dirty button here, so you can get a nice dirty compressor on there. Your overall output volume here, and you've got a width, stereo width. Or a lo-fi mono down here too. And last but not least, we have a tone. So a low and a high tone. Another high pass filter for the overall mix. And your Q resonators for the output. And lastly, a drive. So this is for the master bus. So as you can see, you can get some pretty crazy stuff. And because this is an AUv3, you can have multiples of this. So we can load up another one here, async, and you can create a nice bunch of coconuts. So you can have, you know, as many as you want of these, with each of them with their own samples, and bounce between them, do some fades between these. So very, very cool. The last little sections down the bottom here, you have some settings. You've got a sync quantization, so you can change your syncing. Make sure the quantization, you can do whatever you want with the, you got 1, half, quarter, eighth, 16th quantization. You have a knob sensitivity. Ooh, that's what she said. And you have a run in the background. So this is if you're using as a standalone. You can turn on oversampling. So this will take up more of the memory of your iPad or iPhone. So just be aware of that. Oversampling does that kind of thing. You can open the user manual from here. You can create MIDI maps as well. So here we've got save MIDI map, load MIDI map. What is that about? Well, let me let you know, many vibes, kisses to you, because we have a MIDI learn down the bottom. If I click on this, you'll notice all of these buttons change color, and I can now go in here and I can MIDI learn something. So I might want to say, click on this one here and MIDI learn it. I need to have a keyboard connected. So let's just do that. We've got a keyboard connected. I'm going to turn this knob. So now I have gone ahead and MIDI learnt this knob here. See how I'm turning the knob on my keyboard and the reverb is moving as well. And you can MIDI learn pretty much everything in this, right? So, and then once you've gone in and MIDI learnt a whole bunch of knobs, you know, that you wanted to control, you may have a controller full of knobs. I've got a family full of knobs. That's why I don't talk to them, right? So then you can go into your settings and you can save that MIDI map, right? So you can save that MIDI map and then you can load it anytime you want and all those knobs will be remembered, right? We love knobs. So there's your MIDI mapping and all that kind of jazz. If you want to clear your MIDI mapping, you can, was that in the settings? Clear current MIDI map, done. And now that shouldn't be working. See, that knob's no longer controlling the section there. Lovely, jubbly. So the last thing to look at in here is the fine tuning. And when you turn on fine tuning, it just means all the knobs slow right down. So see, I'm pulling that really fast, but so you get a little bit more granular control over your knobs, and you're not like turning them too fast. See, if I turn that off, see how fast that knob moves, moving my finger up and down. God, this. I feel like I'm working back in the sex industry. And now if I do it up and down, see, it moves far less. Oh, God, just shut up while we're ahead. Okay. Now, I might like this whole thing I've made here, right, with all these samples in here. You can save these presets. So I can go in here and I can save this preset and it'll save all of the samples, all of the settings. So we'll call it show demo. Yeah. Save. And now when I go over to my presets, I can load any of these demos I want. So if I click on demo 1 and hit use preset, it's going to bring up the preset that we started off the show with. Yeah. Really, really nice stuff. Yeah, that little preset folder, being able to save these things as well. So, and when you don't have sync on, if we turn off sync on these, you can change the BPM down here as well. Can you? Let me see. I thought you could by double tipping. No, maybe you can't. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's just turn that one off. I think it's in the standalone version. You can do that as well. It depends what kind of keyboard are you talking about. You're talking about just a controller or an actual keyboard with sounds, Leanie, like what Laurie has. Because what I have here, I recommend this thing. I love this. I did a show on it. It's really small. It's compact. It's super, super good. Nice thing. It's the Arturia key step 37, but it doesn't have sounds built into it. It's just a controller. So you need to have sounds to be able to play with it. But I did a show on it if you want to have a look. The Mini Lab 3 is good as well too. I've got one of those as well somewhere. I think it's downstairs, my Mini Lab 3. It's what I use for my downstairs keyboard. Good God. Why does it feel like Saturday? I don't know. I have no idea, Pete. I don't know what's happening for you. All right, so that's that. Let me show you how to use this in Logic before we get out of here, because I know some people are going to say, hey, can you use it in Logic? You can do that. It's a little bit complicated, not too complicated, but let's load up Logic. We'll create a brand new project in Logic, and we're going to need to create a MIDI track, and we want to create an audio track. So this is the way you would set up Async Sampler in Logic. So in our MIDI track, so we've got a MIDI here and an audio track. In our MIDI track, we would add an instrument down the bottom. We would look for Async Sampler. There it is. Let's add some samples into it. Let's create something. Now I think I have a preset here. So, see, because I already made a preset. So there's my preset. Now you have to do some routing. This is the thing. You have to do some routing to get this to work. Let me turn that down. We're going to load up down the bottom here our mixer. You need to head to the plus section, and we need to create a bus. So I'm going to go in now on this first channel. This is the MIDI that's playing the sound. You can see here. This is where the sound's coming from. So I'm going to hit send, create a new bus. And now we have a bus here that is, it needs to receive the sound. So I'm going to turn up the bus and see how that sound is now playing in the bus. It's sending the data to the bus, the audio. And now in this spare audio track, we need to choose to receive stereo, bus, and hit record. And you can see now this is sending the audio to this bus, and the bus is sending it to our track. So I should be able to turn on our metronome, right, and hit record, and it should, look at that, start recording. So now I can go into Async Sampler live and start manipulating this while it's recording in, right? So we can add in these now. We can change the speed. So you're mixing this live. We can add an LFO live to the high pass. And this is all still recording as we're going. Hit stop. Mute the original track that we were sending the sound from. And here is our little song that we just recorded straight into our audio track. Hit play. There you go. So nice and easy to save this stuff in using the buses here in Logic. All right, hopefully we've covered all of that neatly. We got a couple of minutes now for me to make something really quick. Let's make something really quick, and then we'll play today's featured artist and get the hell out of here. I'm going to delete this. Go over here. Let's load up some sounds. Let's just go for it. We've got, I'm going to import a new sample because I have some great sounds here from Ghost Hack. And we'll go to Ghost Hack. What do we got here? Melodic loops. Let's see what's in here. Melodic loops. And these are all, they look like fun. This is a melodic loop affiliate. I'm going to grab that one and we'll load this in wherever it went. Affiliate, use sample, let's hit play. this do? Let's bring in our next sample. I'm going to grab another one from this pack. This was called Chance. Let's pull in another one. What was this one called? Daydream something. Now, the beautiful thing before we get on with this is, remember, you can add anything you want as an effect afterwards, like an altether, and create a soundscape or a replicant and start destroying the sound. So that's Async Sampler. It's really neat. I mean, you can run these things individually, not sunk up. They can do their own thing, run it backwards. And just go nuts. And with multiples of these, you can create some really great textures, really interesting beats. You know, there's so many samples in here for you to play with as well, drums and... So you can take it anywhere you want. Awesome stuff. We got to get out of here, because I've got to play today's featured artist. Thomas Christ is up next, my friends. Remember to go over to the Gladys Worthington Show, hit the form, send your questions. I need questions for Gladys Worthington. I think I've got about 15. I need 30. So people, go crazy. Ask me whatever you want. Well, ask not me, Gladys. I'm not Gladys Worthington. Just to be sure of that, I'm not Gladys. Today's featured artist is who's our featured artist today? Okay. Holy Ghost 66. This track's rad. It's called Smile Part 2. I'll automatically dump you over to Thomas Christ straight after this. Let's get down to it. This is Smile Part 2. Remember, my friends, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better. We'll all rise together. And this app that we looked at today is currently on sale for the lovely price of $14.99. It will go up to $19.99. Let's freaking Holy Ghost 66. Oh, ja!
Smile lights up the room. It's like